Drake's Wealth. Watch my other videos. The market waits for nobody. Whether you're in with the trend or fighting against the trend, you must have your stop losses set in place. I'm practicing a mental stop loss, but having that concrete stop loss, which is practically two stop losses. The first one is that one that you're allowed to use on your system that you trade on, invest on. The second one is that mental stop loss, which can be half of the day, a full day, or 3 days, but I'd like to set the maximum stop loss like 15 days out. This is whole account trading. Your entire account is going to be on one position or close to it, maybe 50%, but I'm not talking about like throwing, 2% of your account per trade. I'm talking about risking 50% or 100%. But it's not a risk once you set your stop loss. Now you're like risking much less. Then you got that 3-day mental stop loss. It makes sense. Hear me out. Repeat the video if you don't understand what I'm talking about as of now, or go out and practice in the real world. That's how you gain experience. You must be patient and disciplined. Then you'll know how to implement consistency, which equals clarity. Once you have clarity about the financial market, you can look at a graph past 15, 20 days or 1 month. You look at the lines, the bars, and you say, which way are we going up or are we going down? The choice is yours. The graph waits for nobody. If you're not on the correct direction, worst case scenario, you lose. And a loss is better than a win because it gives you the experience. You don't want to just keep winning. Right there, key. If you can be comfortable taking losses again and again, in the financial market, this doesn't apply just to the market. This is information that across the board works, and it's not like you wake up tomorrow and you're just like overnight success. It takes time, practicing consistency and implementing clarity to figure out the process and how you're going to accord that to allow yourself to gain a key financial edge as an investor or a trader or just a person that does good and wants to teach other people. Like myself, I get on here, people don't understand. If you have no experience, you're like, what the heck is this guy talking about? Sometimes, not always. And then other people are like, wow, that's like genius. It's too simple, it won't work. Go out and try it for yourself. If it doesn't work, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that these things just work off the bat. No. I've taken many losses. I'm sitting on such a big loss right now, like so much value. Not going to tell you which company, but I'm like, okay, I can catch this thing. It's a falling knife. It wasn't. It turned around. This is I don't even know. We're in August 2024. There's a huge falling knife. Go look at whatever graph you want to look at. You'll see that knife. I caught it. I'm like, okay, it's going down. Next thing I know, like my stop loss wasn't there mentally, and then I'm like, man, if I take it right now, then I get whatever I have instead of losing even more, because there's a chance you could lose more. There's also a chance it could go the other way. So which direction do I want to be on? I want to be on the right one. Right now I'm not. But if it spikes down, it's going to spike up. There's something in the stocks called the 50-50 rule. It doesn't always happen, but when it does, it's in your favor, because instead of just taking a loss, you can see it bounce back and actually make like half your loss back at least. But that stuff takes time. How much time do you have? Like once it gets, I'd say the professionals that I listen to, the guys who make it real big, say like, don't take more than a 10% loss. That's just common knowledge. Once it goes below 10%, it's like it's going to take some time to gain it back. I'm not saying it could never happen, but if you decide that this thing is like going down, now we're at 20%, then you're going to look back in the future and say, wow, I should have listened to the rule. Like that 10% rule was actually great and applied to every scenario. Pick up a book. Changing subjects. Pick up a book, learn. In my opinion, that's the best way you can learn. It's that works because you associate yourself with what information is being conveyed more than ever. This is 2024. Everybody's like on a computer more than ever, and we're just not in life. I want to talk to other people. I want to meet new people. That doesn't happen. I sit around for like weeks and weeks waiting on people just to message myself. Instead, I learned what I could do so I can improve my future, so I don't have to keep going about the same way and doing the same things over and over every day. It's like I'm just like I don't want to say clog in the system. I just said it. But like, there's nothing that opens up. Like the opportunity for myself is trading finance, becoming an investor, taking my family back to New York City or wherever else I might end up. I don't have a lot of other options. This is my dream. This is what has been implemented in myself from a young age, and I could see it play out just in my lifestyle. I got into buying a lot of materialistic things. A lot of it was toys and fun things, and I just enjoyed sharing those with friends, having fun with materialistic items, and if you want more of those, and like giving back to other people and just going out and doing what you want to do because you deserve it. You're a great person. It's amazing the opportunities that present themselves in the world and in the investment realm. I want to take my family back to New York City. Many people have dreams and hopes and desires. Where do you want to equate that energy to? Is there an end goal, an end game in mind? If you find that thing, stick with it. You're going to take off. Maybe it starts out slow initially. After a time, you're going to learn the process of how to do these things better. It's not going to be perfect the first time around, just like everything. It takes practice, and practice implementing what it is that you know how to do. So in the future, that stuff can be overwhelmingly successful just based off of the person you are and where you're coming from as a person, to know that this is the best way and I'm making the correct decision. So in the future, I know now that I'm going to be moving forward then back. That's like a pure example in language of using a stop loss. Then and there, I know like what am I getting to? Not much. So you want to stop yourself and say, like, is there a place or point in time where you can figure out how to do this better from a better standpoint instead of being where you're at? Because a lot of people are just afraid to change. Sometimes change is good, and this is mental. People talk about mentally change, like you can't just stay the same. It's not going to work. You're going to wind up like everybody else. You want to be against the herd. You don't want to be average your whole life. That's no fun. Been there, done that, and it's not where you want to be. In the future, you have hopes. You grew up as a kid to do all these fun things, and then what happened? Somewhere along the way, something else took your attention away. You weren't sure how to get that attention back. Put down the computer, pick up a book. Make yourself heard on the platform like I do. Share this information with you. Maybe you can go and apply it, because if you do, you're going to be moving forward. Which way are you going to move? Every day you have a choice. Either you're going up or you're going down. The choice is yours in which direction you're going. Tying this back to the financial market, you want to be with the trend. When you're on the wrong side of the trend, it hurts. It's no fun. It's painful to experience losses. At the same time, going in the opposite direction, you don't always want to be with the trend. You want to give yourself room to breathe. But how much room do you want to give yourself to breathe? That's the question you must ask yourself. If you give yourself too little, you're going to hit your take profit every time. Too much, it's not going to ever account to anything. You're just going to like ride in there, and you're not going to be making a big impact. So think of your employees as your take profits. stop losses, whatever you want to call them. Your stop loss is the same depending on which direction you choose and how to implement that stuff to a well-belonging as well as different things, so you can hopefully resist in the future a catastrophic loss because your employees were doing yourself a favor. This thing takes time to add up. Overnight, nothing happens, but you practice the same things over and over again. Might not work the first time. If you're new, watch my other videos. If you continue, eventually you'll find your ultimate success by accomplishing that thing that it is that you want to accomplish. You only have such a long amount of time to do that here, and then you're gonna let your kids take up the reins. If that's how you're gonna do it, really, you're not going to be here in the future. So if you're gonna sit around and think I'm gonna do this much stuff and then I'm just gonna have little mini-me's going around doing the stuff for me, and instead I'm just gonna do exactly what they say. I've never tried it. I believe in it. That does work, yes. At the end of the day, you want to have safety and security, and to do that, you must start by being true to yourself, being honest. If you can believe